Top diplomats the world over are in the Philippines for an annual gathering to promote peace in the Asia-Pacific region. Participants have a lot to cover during bilateral, multilateral meetings there, especially after North Korea's latest provocation. Our Connie Kim has been covering the ASEAN Regional Forum in Manila for us. We connect to her right now. Connie, the rare attendance by a North Korean representative grabbed everyone's attention. And of course, one of the hotly anticipated events was the press conference by Yong-ho. Could you tell us what happened?
Well, Daniel, just a couple of minutes ago, North Korea's Foreign Minister Yong-ho walked into the lobby of New World Hotel where he's staying throughout the ASEAN Regional Forum. But to the surprise of many, he did not speak to reporters directly himself as he did last year at the Regional Security Forum. Instead, a spokesperson of the North Korean delegation handed out copies of the speech made at a plenary session of the foreign ministers meeting of the ARF. It was a 5-page speech, and I briefly took a look at it, which was mostly about blaming the U.S. for the current tensions on the Korean Peninsula and justifying its nuclear and weapons development. There was definitely tight security around the hotel, with everyone required to go through security checks and intense media attention, with a handful of reporters from around the world waiting to hear what Lee was about to announce to the international community through the reporters. Now, this was a much-awaited moment of the ASEAN Regional Forum, as it's impossible to see a North Korean senior official at any other multilateral forum. And this year's message from Lee gathers all the more attention as it comes on the heels of North Korea's long-range ballistic missile tests. And it seems Pyongyang will push ahead with its nuclear and missiles development in defiance of international calls.
Predictable and expected response from North Korea, as usual. Do tell us more about the trilateral meeting held this morning between the representatives from Seoul, Washington, and Tokyo, Connie, and also understand the top diplomats of both Koreas crossed paths on the sidelines of that forum. How did that turn out?
Right, Daniel, the foreign ministers of South Korea, the U.S., and Japan have used the sideline meeting of the ASEAN Regional Forum, where they reaffirmed their common goal of a complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of North Korea. After the trilateral meeting, South Korea's Foreign Minister Yong-ho stressed that it's important for members of the UN Security Council to implement the recently adopted UN sanctions, referring to China and Russia's active role in reigning in North Korea. Also, in a historic moment, the foreign ministers of the two Koreas briefly met ahead of a gala dinner marking the 50th Association of Southeast Asian Nations, a regional security forum. Kang has reportedly called on the North to respond to Seoul's recent proposals for talks, while Lee stressed that Seoul lacks sincerity when it's cooperating with Washington and pressuring North Korea. So it was a brief encounter. I heard it was a 3-minute encounter, and it was a rather awkward moment, but what this will lead to next will mostly depend on North Korea. Back over to you, Daniel.
All right, Connie, thank you so much for being out there for us. We appreciate it.